What's up, everybody? How are you guys doing? I'm Ryan Weller, and welcome on into the player space, where we get to hang out with some awesome, cool, and might I add, amazing friends. Speaking of which, here's Jonathan Stauder.
Hi, guys. Hi.
Hi. Hi. So, out of all the characters that you've had a chance to see grow and evolve in the Minecraft universe here, what would you say is your favorite character that has had like the biggest kind of character arc and the biggest growth? You'd say.
Well, I mean the biggest one is for sure. Well, if we're looking at like season 1 and 2, the original Order of the Stone members. We have Jesse. The new Order of the Stone members, Jesse, Axel, Olivia. So they go from being kids playing in their treehouse in their backyard, basically, to now they run towns and are responsible for folks. Like they've grown up, and as they've grown, their responsibilities have changed. The things that are important to them have changed. So I think like that the core cast, as they've moved throughout season 1 and then landed in season 2. Them struggling with all these new, more grown-up responsibilities while still trying to figure out how to still find time to hang out and be friends. I think it's really the core cast. Petra struggles with it. Yeah. So her development's just a little stunted, but that's her thing is dialing into the wanting to be out and free and roaming on adventures and whatnot. So she kind of is like, she's fighting her development as a character along the way.
I'm going to keep poking around.
Is Pink Blob supposed to be a pig?
Yes. So I'm gonna recommend that every time you have the opportunity to, pet Ruben.
Okay. All right.
It may or may not be tied to a hidden achievement.
Okay, good. I like how he's analyzing like that.
Yeah, it's like, does not look right.
Well, I'm going to keep looking.
Does not look like something that I want to eat.
I wonder if you need to high-five him, too, as part of the achievement. It's been a while.
Let's, well, I didn't mean to back out right there, so.
Yeah.
Aw. I love how cute
people
that's
make
it? Him.
I wonder. It's been so long.
Look at a fountain. Now, is the water? Okay, no, the water's water. All right.
Yeah.
Right there, I was like, is that wool?
So water's actually water.
Okay, then there's the, why isn't the wool soaking up the water?
I don't think that's
Am I reading too much into this, John?
Sponges soak up water in Minecraft, not wool.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm just talking about real world. I mean,
yeah, but we're not in the real world.
Oh, so wool doesn't act.
Let
like
me tell you about how hard it is. No, just how hard it is to like coming in and trying to tell an action-oriented story in the world of Minecraft presents some challenges because physics don't work the way you think they would. An ordinary block of stone, blow open a wall, and bits of it will just be stuck sitting there floating in midair, which is a really cool thing. But when you are attempting to come in and work through the logic of some of the scenes and how things come together, every once in a while you get hung up on like, yep, that thing that happens in the real world just is not possible in Minecraft. You come into this project and you're like, oh, gravity works like normal, right?
Yeah.
Like, no, there are things that just hang in the air in Minecraft. Certain blocks, they'll obey gravity. Your character will obey gravity. Throwing things, you can't always throw a thing. Because that's just not how it works in the world of Minecraft.
What things can you not throw?
Well, it's like you can't really, like, I couldn't say take a block of TNT and throw it at someone as an attack, but you can technically drop TNT. So in situations like, to be fair, it's been a long time since I played 2, but I know in 5 we have a situation with TNT where we had to very specifically make it that the character was dropping TNT in order to obey the laws of physics in Minecraft, because you weren't going to be able to launch it with your hand. Okay. Or you'd have to build some mechanism involving pistons and slime blocks that would just like launch TNT at something. Like that's a thing you can build. But yeah, just a person like wanting to like throw a bomb at someone.
Yeah.
It's not a thing.
So it's a world with very specific rules.
Yeah.
That doesn't necessarily make a whole lot of sense.
So that
to then the real world.
Yeah.
Rules.
Just to say that there's a pass that has to happen where when we're designing a thing, it always has to. We always have to try to like put it through that litmus test of like, could you actually do this in Minecraft? How or is this bending the rules? How much is it bending the rules? And internally we do that, and then Mojang they give us notes on it as well. And we always, like, if we are ever bending the rules, we are talking with them to make sure, like, is this okay that we're bending it slightly this way?
Yeah.
So it can be tough.
All from a simple question of why isn't wool soaking up water?
And this is yes. So hopefully everybody like feels bad for us, poor video game developers.
Feel bad for Jonathan, guys. Feel bad for him. Okay. On the comments below, after you've asked where a specific episode is, just let him know how much he's loved and you know how beautiful he is.
I will say the coolest thing. So just to counter that, so me complaining, play complaining.
How beautiful this man is.
I think the coolest thing about story mode is that people are always harping on this company to do its own original IP. Like, don't do something licensed. Like, what does Telltale want to cook up and do on their own? Which we would all, we agree. That's something that would be fun to do. But story mode is the closest we've ever come to a completely original IP because we've created all the characters, the setup for the world, the premise, all this. Like, we're using the trappings of Minecraft, and we collaborate with Mojang on the story and the logic and things like I described. But I mean, for the most part, like, Jesse's an original Telltale character interacting with wholly original other Telltale characters in a story that we have entirely cooked up on our own.
Yeah.
Hey, Jesse.
So that's one of the great things about this project is that it's really like it's just purely ours.
It was, I mean, I think you're correct, and I've mentioned this before, is that it is the blankest slate we've ever been given to work in, because literally, outside of the awesome fans that Minecraft has, there really hasn't been any official story that was created other than just the rules that this world brings.
Yeah, and like they're just now getting around to like, what was it, a few months ago they published the first official Minecraft novel. They've had that movie in the works for a while now.
Yeah.
So I mean, and when we first learned we were making this game, we were like, oh, cool, Minecraft's a lot of fun. What's the story there? Because that's kind of our thing.
Yeah.
These narrative games, and so I think what we've cooked up is a lot of fun, and it's ours. It's original.
So you keep on mentioning the music. Have we ever? I know we're gonna have one here in Minecraft here. Have we ever had a true musical number in any other Telltale game before? Where a character breaks out into song and that kind of stuff?
I mean, so I came in just after season 1 of Walking Dead on 400 Days. So that's when I started with.
That's definitely not an episode that has a musical number.
So from there forward, no. I want to say, and it's been a long time. I don't recall if the Sam and Max games. It seems like that's a property that woulda if they could have, if they didn't.
Trying to remember.
I want to say someone told me once upon a time that they wanted to do a musical episode, entirely musical episode of Sam and Max that just never came to fruition. But no, and it's one of those ideas that keeps resurfacing. Like, if we, trust me, there's a whole bunch of us here that if we could just do a playable musical episode of any of our franchises,
That would be awesome.
and sometimes whether it would fit or not, like just to figure out a way to do it.
Do a show tune.
That's one idea that we keep kicking around on Minecraft Season 2 has always been basically rolled onto the project and went, all right, which episode's going to be the musical episode, because we're doing one, right? The reality of how complex that would be sets in, and you're like, well, we really need more planning time to pull off something like that, but we really want to do it. We really want to.
In the comments, if you guys would want to see a musical episode, I want you guys to actually comment on this, how much you would want this, and upvote the crap out of that. Let your voices, because as you've seen with this company, the one thing I love about Telltale, especially, is we do listen to our fans. We all the social media, everything that you guys put out there, it is seen, and so you guys comment on this stuff. Let us be here. Would you want to actually have a musical episode of something here in one of our games? Because it looks like you'd make, John's dream come true here.
Well, so long as I got to make it.
Yeah.
Now,
do you think Minecraft would be the perfect IP for a musical?
Well, of everything we're talking about, like, we'll see in a little bit here, we have a musical beat happen. Like, story mode's so elastic in terms of what's on tone, what's appropriate, and whatnot. We could easily find a way. And part of the reason we have the musical number even in this episode is because fans make, on YouTube, they make all these music videos and things like that. It's part of what the community does, so reflect that here. If it's like Walking Dead, you probably would have to have like Clem slip on some zombie guts and hit her head, and then she imagines a musical sequence or something like that. But even in that situation, that would be so off-tone and wrong.
What are you talking about? Something where you're having to worry about your life? And
yeah.
Are alive.
Yeah, then, yeah, exactly. And she's got a chorus line of zombies behind her.
It's a
baby AJ comes out and does some tap dancing.
Oh, no, I think a Thriller ripoff would be amazing.
Yeah, but I think that would be fun, but I think people would see that one coming. We'd have to do something else, like something from Evita, or I don't know, like something from Disney, like see if we could license A Whole New World.
But it's just zombies, like
yeah.
That'd be great. But yeah, I think that would be legit. I mean, yes, that would be a lot of planning, a lot of hard work. I mean, if you guys, all right. So since you had a direct episode, was it 3 or 2 of Tales from the Borderlands?
2.
Just this is still kind of in this vein. So, but to talk a little bit about it, can you kind of touch on like how much work goes into those opening musical sequences, because those are very involved.
Yeah, I mean, for that series, that was planning started, as early as it could on those for each of those episodes with Nick Herman, who was overseeing the project as like a supervising director, and then Molly Maloney, who was a concept artist at the time, who's now a designer here. We would storyboard that stuff. Like we would work out the pre-production in 2D, which is a luxury for us. That isn't something that we get to do very often. So we're moving so fast, and it's actually, in a lot of cases, most of the time, it's faster for us to get something up and working in our tool than to sit around and wait for someone to draw something. But those were pretty meticulously planned with Nick mostly overseeing those things, oftentimes jumping in and being the cinematic artist, putting those things together himself. And we tried, there was a good attempt at the start of episode 2 sequence to put in some interactivity where you're trying to, as Fiona, try to catch Reese going out the back of their camper as it's falling apart and it's boosting off at top speed. But it's really hard to take a licensed track and carve it up into the pieces you need to allow for people to miss a button press and still have the visuals be timed to the beat and things like that. So if you're ever playing one of our games, and whether it's a licensed track or even one of these pieces that our composers put together for us, and it feels like I'm pressing the buttons to the beat of the song, it is an insane amount of work to make that happen anytime.
Dare I say, when you have these 2 to 3 minutes sequences, you have these entire scenes, to put it in perspective a little bit, that are getting worked on for, like a cinematic artist will have, month to 2 months, somewhere around that area, to complete an entire scene. You have this musical sequence that takes just as long when it's just a 2 to 3 minute chunk of time that the player will end up experiencing.
Yeah.
And so yeah, it is insane how much time and planning goes into those, but how much can be worth it when you see that end product.
Exactly. Guardians of the Galaxy just had a great one in their third episode, a playable montage set to music, which was fantastic. I really love that. So, and anytime you see something like that, it took a lot of hard work. It probably took a lot of folks convincing the people who are signing the checks to say, look, trust us, it's gonna be a fun thing. Fans are gonna love it. It's going to be a kind of a showpiece, like tentpole moment of our episode, and to be fair, like we're game for making a lot of stuff here, but still sometimes it becomes you really have to put the effort in to make those things happen, because on paper you're like, where's the big choice I'm making in this moment? Where's the but you remember these things.
Yeah.
So like everybody talks about those opening sequences from Borderlands. We have a handful in Minecraft that folks call back to.
Yeah.
So it's definitely worth it anytime we manage to get one of those made. But we do this thing with the pet names. That's fun. We have fun.
Yeah.